So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna basically do a really big assessment of where he's at with stuff currently, both from a social standpoint, so we'll introduce him some dogs right away today, see where he's at with it, what he does, and then from a training standpoint, we'll see where he's at as well. So I see obviously he's got a pinch collar on, we've got an e-collar there. The fact that he's got good food drive is definitely beneficial, at least from a training standpoint. You know, I would say if we could lean into that side of things, obviously we still need the corrections and stuff, but a lot of times you could make a lot faster of progress if you're leaning into some of that kind of stuff. So that's good, obviously. How do you feel his general obedience is, just in a nutshell? Like, how do you feel he listens to you generally?
I think really well.
Pretty well?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So let's do this. Why don't you go ahead and put his leash back on him? You could set your muzzle and your e-collar and all that down wherever. And what I want to see you do is I just want to watch you just work him with whatever for a minute. So let's say you feel his best command is sit stays or down stays or bed stays or anything like that. I just want to see you kind of working him a little bit and see where you're at with some of that.
With the leash on?
Yeah, however you normally would do it, go for it. And if you want to use treats, you can. If you want to use anything, do it whatever you normally would do if you were going to do like a training session.
Upper place.
Almost.
No. Down.
All right, looks pretty good.
All right, break. Here. Down.
Nice.
Break. No trees, sorry. Should I keep going or?
Yeah, do a couple more things. I would like to see how his duration is in holding positions and stuff. So
Place.
yeah, maybe do just a little bit more with him here.
Down.
So a minute ago, I heard you tell him like no treats right now, you know?
I don't know, I just.
Out of curiosity, yeah, what's your mentality on not rewarding any of this currently? Is there any reason for it or?
Oh no, I don't want to grab it. Like I do like doing the rewards, he just gets like revved up, like he's just over aroused with food.
And when you say revved up, do you mean he has a hard time controlling himself then? Like does stuff get sloppy when you bring the treats out?
Not sloppy, just like maybe sloppy, I don't know.
Sure.
Like when I give him treats, he's just like, nom nom. Like,
Okay, so let's do this. Grab some of the treats, and I want to see you do some stuff with treats so I can see what you mean with that.
Okay.
He said, I know what that is. And what kind of treats do you generally use with him?
Just like freeze-dried stuff.
Cool, yep.
Yep. Place. There you go.
He knows now. He said, I'm ready to go. I mean, this looks pretty good as a starting place, you know? Obviously, there's some areas that we could improve on, but this looks pretty good.
No. Place. Down.
And maybe try to do just a downstay somewhere.
A downstay? Okay.
Yeah.
Down. Down. Stay.
Okay, so that looks pretty good. So the positive is he clearly understands the commands,
Yeah.
right? From a handling standpoint, there will be some things that we tighten up, and I do want to incorporate the e-collar into those commands, obviously. But that looked pretty good. We got a good baseline we're working with here. Today, what I want to do is I want to refine just the way you're giving your commands and the way you're enforcing your commands using just the leash and the food today, right? He's got plenty of food drive, so there shouldn't be a reason why we need to jump right into the e-collar with him. But what I want to see you get better with is, I think a lot of the reason he was making some mistakes, and when you said he got like too jazzed up with the food, was because you weren't giving adequate information, right? And that's where our markers come into play, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run through the basic 3 commands, which are gonna be bed, down, and come. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the bed command, and what we're gonna do is we're not gonna combine the commands initially. So you were doing bed and down, right? We're just gonna do bed to start, right? So let's talk about our markers for a minute here. So our markers that we're using are gonna be either good, which is gonna be a bridge marker we use to reward in place, right? So we're identifying the moment in time and we're bringing the reward to him and he needs to stay in position to get that reward, right? We're gonna use no, which is the negative marker we use to identify a mistake and deliver some sort of correction after it, right? And then obviously, do you use break or free, or what do you use?
Break in place for the
Use break to let him out of commands? So break, that's not really a marker, but it's a release, obviously. So it just means that we're done with whatever we were just working on. Some people will use it as a terminal marker, meaning he gets a reward after it. We're not gonna do that right now. So we're predominantly just gonna be using good and no. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk him straight up to the bed here. I'm gonna tell him, place. Good. And notice my mark came the second 4 paws got onto that bed. I didn't wait until he stabilized or anything. I waited until the second he got onto position, I marked, and then notice I didn't give him a reward right away, right? The reward can come after, right? So the mark is, the mark is identifying. Good. The moment in time we want a reward, the reward can come any point after, right? Same with the no marker. The no marker came the second that he stepped off of the bed. I used the leash to get him back onto the bed. Then I marked with good again, right? And you said you use free or break? Sorry. Break. And then we'll just do that a couple times. So I'll walk him right back up to it. Place. Good. I'll just wait a second, make sure he's stabilizing. Break. Bed. Good. And I actually try to make an effort to have a pause between the markers and whatever sort of reward that I'm giving, right? I want him to hear it, have an opportunity to understand what he's about to get rewarded for, then have that reward come after the fact. Break. Bed, replace. Good. No. Now is this what you mean about the too jazzed up for rewards? So all we're gonna do is we're just gonna make sure he's waiting for it. So notice I'm just holding it right here. He's not allowed to have it yet. Now again, if he continues doing that, I'll add a correction in for it, but right now, good. I'm just gonna wait until he's stable, then I'm gonna give it to him, right? Break. Place. Good. Break. So again, just showing one more time, walking up, place. Good. Mark comes right when he does the correct thing, grab the reward, make sure he's waiting, then give it to him, right? Break. You're up. So what I want you really focusing on here is simply the timing of your markers and the delivery of your rewards. That's it.
Place. Good.
Real slow with it. Wait until he's totally committed to not taking it before you give it to him. There you go. Perfect.
Break. Place. Good. Good.
Good timing on the mark.
I know, I feel like I was lagging.
No, that was good. And nice and slow. And get that thing all the way to his face before you give it to him. Yeah. Just to test him, right? Like once you're in the groove of this, you could do it much faster than that. But I really want you focusing on yourself right now and what you're doing, you know?
Yeah, because then if I'm fast, he's like, oh.
Yeah, and when we're working fast, we're not thinking through each individual step. You know what I mean?
Break. Place. Good.
There you go. That looked really good. One more.
Break. Place. Good.
Beautiful.
Break.
Cool. All right, give him a second. Let him hang out for a minute here, and then we're going to add duration into this next. So I'll take the leash back from you, and you can just give me like 3 treats,
Okay.
3 or 4, something like that. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add duration in. So we're going to leave him there, and this is where we're going to probably start adding in the no marker into things. So what I'm going to do is walk him up, place. Same first step as the last one. Good. Making sure he's waiting. Then we're going to set the leash down. We're going to walk away. We're not saying stay or anything. Stays built into the commands, right? And then at that point, as I'm away from him, if he breaks command, we're marking with no right away. So just like how the good marker we want to come the second he gets into position, we want the no marker to come the second he breaks position, which in this case would be what?
Should his paws come off?
One paw stepping on the ground. That's where that no marker comes right away, right? Once we give that no marker, we're going to go back. We're going to get the leash wherever he is. If he's all the way over there, we're going to go get him. If he's just stepped off still, we're going to go get him. If he fixes himself when we say it, we're still going to go back to him. Then we're going to reiterate the command. Then we're going to try again, right? Then once he's doing well with it, we're going to add a second reward in for the duration. So I'm going to go back. No. So notice no marker came right away. Place. Then we're going to try again, right? So for a lot of dogs, picking up the leash is a big cue for them to get up. So that time he didn't make the mistake. Good. So I'll mark with good. Same deal, making sure he's waiting for the reward. Give it to him, break, then release him off. So I'll do it one more time. Place. Good. You're getting good at that, dude. Same deal, I'll go back, pick up the leash. Good. Break. Got it? You're up. Make sure you give your reward still. So we're giving 2 rewards, one when we get him into position and one for the duration at the end. That's okay. And this whole sequence we're doing applies to every command, whether it's a down, whether it's a sit, whether it's a place, whether it's a come command. Mark. Perfect. And make sure he's waiting for it. There you go. Excellent. And then he could break them off. Let's do that a few times.
Place. Good.
Excellent. Thought about it.
Just go back whenever?
Whenever you want. Yeah.
Good.
Perfect. Very good. Let's do one more.
Place. Good.
Beautiful. Awesome. All right, we're gonna let him hang out for a minute. I'm gonna grab him some water real quick. Questions on that so far?
Nope, just that makes sense, you know, slowly.
Just tightening things up. That's all we're doing, you know? The faster we move with stuff, especially with an already really quick dog, the more chaotic everything becomes, you know? So you got to bring him almost down to your level, right? And it's not the food that's creating the problem. I think that's a misconception sometimes where people say, oh, the food's hurting things, right? Food doesn't hurt things, it's motivation, you know what I mean? We just need to teach him how to control himself around the motivation. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do that same process with the downs. There's just gonna be a couple little tweaks we make to it. Biggest difference with the downs here, here bud, down. So I'm just gonna wait him out for a minute here. If he doesn't do it, no, down. I'll use some leash pressure down. And then when I give the reward, since he's so food motivated, no, down. I'm actually gonna, no, down. I'm gonna teach him to kick his hips to the side here. So basically, no, down. How I'm gonna do that is I'm just gonna hold this lure over his head, no, down. And I'm gonna kind of tilt his head to the side. No, down. Good.
Like a relaxed down?
Yeah. Now, it's not like something I would ever correct him for not doing. The criteria with down is just elbows down. But with the reward, if I could teach him with this lure, good. To further stabilize like that, it's gonna help him be less jumpy for it, right? Break.
Whenever I did it, he just like throws himself to the ground. I'm like, geez Louise.
Down. No, down. No, down. Good. Break. Down. Good. No. Down. Good. Break. Really just work slow and steady with this.
Down.
Just give him a second, let that command breathe for a minute, and whenever you feel like he's committed to not doing it, you could mark with no, and then help him down.
No. Then say down again?
Yep. Perfect. And then use that lure.
No. Down.
Yep, and when those elbows come up, that's when your no marker is going to come.
No. Down.
There you go.
The goal is to get him on his side, right?
Yeah, so kind of up and to the side.
No. Down.
Mark. Perfect. Go ahead and break them out.
Break.
First couple are the hardest ones.
Yeah.
It's just kind of awkward initially, you know?
Down. No. Down.
Perfect. Then do your lure.
Do I do like a double mark for him when he gets in position?
Mark.
Good.
No, you're actually going to wait to mark until the hips kick.
Okay, so once he, okay.
Yep. Because the picture we want to reward is this, right?
Break.
So you don't have to go all the way to his face for this. So this is, we call this a disconnected lure. So I can even do it from here. No, down. No, down. Good. Because when you're right up in his face, that could get a little bit more distracting. And then same deal, before you mark with good, make sure you have stability. I'm not gonna be as nitpicky about him poking at the hand, but I wanna see him stable in the position.
Down.
Nice. Mark.
Good.
Perfect.
Break. Break. Down. Good.
Nice.
Break.
Cool. And what you'll find is as you work this, the next stage is gonna be he's gonna start just kicking the hips to the side as soon as he gets into the down, right? And like I said, in real life situations, if I'm not using treats and stuff, I'm not gonna correct him if he doesn't do it. Like as long as he gets down, that's the expectation. But with the reward, we're kind of teaching, it's almost like a visual cue of that hand coming up means stabilize, right? The reward coming out means further stabilize. Down. No. Down. Good. So same deal, rewarding, dropping the leash. Be using my no marker if he breaks command, and then I'll be taking him back to that same spot. Look at those ears you got. And then just like with the bed, I'll be rewarding on picking up the leash. Just going back. Good. No, down. Good. Break. Down. Good. Good. Break. Nice. You're up. Reward first.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Very good. Then you can drop it. Then mark with good.
Good.
Perfect.
Break. Down. Good. Center side break.
Yeah, that looked good.
Good. Break.
Sweet. Okay, here's what we're gonna do next. You're gonna alternate between doing a place stay and a down stay.
Place.
And this one, really make sure he's waiting for that reward. So take it out, do the nice and slow to the face.
Good.
And make sure he's not jumping for it. Perfect, looks good. He's picking on quick.
Good. Break. Down. Good.
And that was the first repetition, I think, that he completed the entire thing on his own. That was awesome.
So you relax down.
Yeah.
Good. Go. Down.
Excellent. So once you hit, you can go ahead and break him out.
Break.
So once you hit a point where he's consistently doing that, the next step would be rewarding those repetitions like you do the place, right? So here, let me see the leash and just give me one treat. Thank you. Come here, bud. Down. Good. So same deal, right? Even though he's in it, I'm still making sure that he's waiting completely before I give it to him. Then I'll give it to him, right?
We'll just get down to head level.
Yeah, just get it close. Make sure he's not jumping up for it before you deliver that reward. Break. Good work, buddy. That looked pretty good.